Hi guys, my name is Jones and I'm part of the customer success team of Camelayo. And today I'm going to talk about our newest brand new integration improvements. Now, we changed a lot, but we updated so much stuff, it's amazing. Every part of the integration has been optimized, has been simplified, that it's even more easy to integrate right now than before. Let's have a look together. Now, two things that we're going to discuss is the web component and secondly, the manageable integrations. Those two things will be during the webinar explained, and the third step is showing you everything in the code as well that you need to integrate the dashboard. Let's start with the web component. For the web component, we created a new state-of-the-art HTML web component called Camelayo Dashboards. Why is it important? Because we used to have a whole script that you always need to, that was necessary to implement in your own front end. Now it's not necessary anymore. You just have the following, as you can see right there. You just have the Camelayo Dashboards web component. It's available if your framework, if your front end is in HTML. If you're using any other frameworks like React, React Native, Vue, or Angular, it's no problem at all. Then you also have your web component or an alternative over there. But for the HTML, you can now use Camelayo Dashboards. Now, let's see if we can put something in action. I'm going to show you how you can use it and where you can find it in the Camelayo environment itself. So first things first, this is our demo application that we're going to use called Awesome SaaS Company. And here we're going to embed a dashboard without authorization. So we'll need a public dashboard. So that's where we're going to start. Now I'm going to my dashboards. I'm going to my public dashboards. And I'm going to have a look at, for example, warehousing. All right, this is a public dashboard, so available for everyone. Let's have a look at the share options. And in the share options, you will see it's public. So part one. Secondly, I can go to the integrate, and this has already been changed because here you can find not only the web component itself, but also the script where you can find the installment of the web component. So this is what I'm going to use. So I've copy pasted it into my code. Yes, and I'm currently showing you a lot, but it's this one that I need. Yes, in my HTML, I'm going to include it. Now I deleted already a lot, but you'll recognize that there are some things that we will recognize as well. So I'm keeping this one and I'm adding a dashboard. No, a dashboard ID is the same as, and now I have to see it's this specific ID that I need. Yes. Okay. All right, let's reload. Let's see if it works because I'm not sure. Oh, I'm happy. Yes, amazing, amazing. So what I did was in my front end, in my HTML file, I just added a Camelayo dashboard web component. And that's the one that you see right now. And I just added the dashboard ID. Okay, that's already part one. Important to know, sorry, almost forgot, that this script will install it for you. So you can just take that one. It's also available in the other different frameworks, but you can also go to npm itself, and here you can find it, and there you can find the web component for Camelayo dashboards. So here you can install it. Here you can always have the most up-to-date version and as well a step-by-step explanation of how you can use it. All right, that's it for the web component. We already discussed one of the two main topics. So the next topic is manageable integration. As you may already notice that there's a third tab that exists right now. So you do not only have data sets, you have dashboards and also integrations. This one right here. What's an integration? We created a new entity we call an integration where we can collect. So it's a collection of multiple dashboards, multiple data sets, all with their own filters, all with their own rights. And that all combined in one integration ID. So instead of, we earlier did, integrating one dashboard ID, and if you want to have more or multiple dashboards, you need to have multiple dashboard IDs. No, it's not necessary. You can also do it that way, but you can also create one integration ID. That's what I'm going to show you right now. If you open the model, because I'm going back to my environment, this is it right now. Integrations, yes. I'm going to create a new one. And important to know that only owners of an Camlio environment can create integrations. If you have a designer account, you get a notification like, hey, you need to be an owner to edit, create integrations. So new integration. In this model that we created, you'll be guided step by step what you need to add to create an integration. You need to add dashboards, that's step 1, datasets, step 2, and 3, you receive the necessary snippets of code that you'll need to put into your backend or include in your backend and in your front. Amazing. So let's just have a look. Start creating. I would like to choose the following 5 different dashboards that I would like to be included in my integration. Construction, traffic, human resources, education, and events. I confirm my selection and I get an overview of the 5: construction, traffic, resources, education, and events. As you can see, I can always adjust the rights, like can view, can use, can edit. In the future, this will be necessary, or this will be a very handy tool that you can use. And lastly, you also have a slug. For each dashboard, there's a slug. That's it. Now, let's go to the next step. In the next step, you'll notify that there is a little error giving me like, hey, you're using datasets, but you're not the owner of it. Important detail, you need to be the owner of each dashboard or of each dataset if you want to use it in an integration. I'm not an owner of my datasets, but those are public datasets. Later on, I'll show you what happens or what will give you the options when you are using an own datasets that you own. For now on, it's just public datasets. So I have my dashboards, I have my datasets, and now I'm going to create my integration. And here in my integration, before I explain, I'm just going to go back to my slides because there's some detail that's quite important. The detail is our first step, the backend step. We need to create an authorization request. In the past, we used temporary tokens. Now we have SSO tokens. As you can see right here. Oh, I'm a bit too fast, sorry. That you can see right here. So type SSO doesn't change a lot. The only thing that you need to know is that you need to add some properties like username, name, email, suborg, and role. Why is it important? Because in the future, now there are already some features that are useful for your end user. So the end user of the dashboard, if he's, for example, creating an alert, we need to know who has created the alert because we want to email or notify them about it. So if the person returns in 2 or 3 months, we also need to recognize like, hey, that's the same login. It's the same person logging in. So we can give them the feature that they are specifically or that are specifically created for them. Keeping that in mind, that's why we need to use SSO tokens. It's a minor adjustment, but it can help out. So this is the backend step. Creating an authorization token, SSO. Going back, As you can see, it's identically the same. It's also an SSO token with a role, with a suborg, an email name, username. Okay. As you already noticed, there is an integration ID here that we're going to use. We're going to copy paste it because we need it later on. It's the same as this one. Instead of a dashboard ID, I have an integration ID. Okay. Also in other languages, it's available. Lastly, you have your front-end step. And the front-end step, I do not need to explain anymore because we already talked about that. It's the web component. Identically the same. What does it include? The dashboard ID or the slug, if you want to specify what you want to show. An authentication key and token. It's what you retrieve from your SSO request from the backend. So it also states here. And lastly, an app server. You do not have to worry about app server because it will be automatically changed depending on where you are working. If you want to learn more about it, just give it a call or email. All right, and then the script that we discussed earlier, but that's identically the same as using this page. All right, I need my integration, and I'm going to integrate the dashboard using the slug. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to finish it. Okay, that's it. Copy the integration ID. I'm going to my application. Here, it's still my running my dashboard that's publicly, but it's going to change right away. I'm going to first go to my backend to recognize the SSO request. So this is the SSO request, as you can see. It's an authorization request with the SSO type and the different necessary properties like role, support, email, like that. Now I have my integration ID over here. So I need to adjust it. I'm going to add it. Okay, please save it. And then I'm going to my main.js. That's my JavaScript. And I need to look at this part. It's the request that we will receive from the SSO token. So this is front end. And then I'm going to my HTML. And in my HTML, I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to type dashboard. Slug is, for example, traffic. Okay. Let's see if it works. Does not, it's no problem. It's because my build. I'm going to fix it right away. Yes. Yeah, running dev. So I just need to wait right now. But important to note is that I did not use the ID. I only use the slug. So the slug that we identified earlier on. And in the main, so the only thing that's included as well is like the loader background and the loader spinner color. So that is the same as my application. Those are like properties that you can use in the web component. It also has one feature that's amazing that I'll show you later on. It's, I think, the real reason why I'm also talking about the web component. It's listed. It's okay to go. Let's reload. I'm way too excited. Let's reload it. Let's see. Okay, this is a different dashboard and I have access to it. This is the dashboard traffic that we used, because if I go to my dashboards, I can see traffic over here. If I open it, for example, you'll notice that it's identically the same. Maybe the numbers are off, but that's the least of my worries. So that's really what you can use right now. That's part one. Now, for example, if I want to change the dashboard without any intervention of my IT team, we used to go to the IT team, say, hey, I have another dashboard ID to include. I can now do it in a different way. I can adjust it like this. I'm going to my integrations. I'm going to adjust my integrations. This is my traffic slug. And here I can select another dashboard. I can go to sales, for example. Confirm. Here I have my new, indicating that there is another dashboard using the same traffic, using the slug that we included. Going to my next step. And here I get an overview of my data set, which I am the owner of. Important detail, if I go to my filters, I can select filters, but I can also adjust or create a parameter. And that parameter can be used for all different data sets. So you can click it and you can use it over different data sets. So that's amazing. That's why I need this part. Update it, please. Yes, finish it, please. I'm going to my application itself, reload it. And it's showing me the sales overview, the dashboard that we just changed. There is no code changes. There's no snippet of code that is now different dashboard ID. No, because we're using the same slug. So how neat is that? Okay, then the last thing, I think, and the most amazing feature that I did not discuss yet is a function that is part of the web component. And we call it the get accessible dashboards call over here. What does it do? A get accessible dashboard call will retrieve all the different properties that you desire. Let me explain. You want to include an integration, but you have no knowledge of the names of the dashboards, you have no knowledge of the slug, you have no knowledge of the amount of dashboards, but you want to, you know the integration ID. So you want to integrate them, and you do not want anything to be hard-coded, so that it's flexible, so that it can be changed, so that the owner of the Kummel.io environment itself does not need to change any code snippets. No problem. Then get accessible dashboards is your way to go. You use it, it's part of the web component, it's a function, and as you can see right here, in this case, it will retrieve all the, within the dashboard elements, all the dashboard names, and even give it a tab so that you can choose from it. Now, in this way, we are going to make dashboards dynamical. You can change dashboards, you can change everything. It's only up to you if you're the owner of the integration itself and you do not need to change one snippet of code. Only thing I need to get rid of is my dashboard slug, because now my web component is directly listening to what's happening over here. So let's see how it looks like. Let's reload. I'm already so happy because I can see that for events, sales overview, human resources, everything is now working as it should be. I have created a tab, and that tab is listening to the dashboard name. Let me explain, let me show you. I have a dashboard currently looking at called construction. It's the construction sites. All right, it's the same as this one. If I want to change it, I want to call it buildings, for example. I can open it. This is done. I can reload my page, and I'm already seeing that here is called buildings. So it's dynamical. You're creating an integration where the adjustments of the integrations are not in the hands of the IT team, but of your own, of the person who created the integration in Kummel.io itself. How neat is that? All right. Let me just present. And I think step by step, I showed you what you can do with it. Now we are there. Just to sum it all up, a wrap up of everything that we talked about. Web component, new way of working with HTML, new way, state-of-the-art HTML, where you can choose whatever you want to, where you only need 2 or 3 lines of code instead of the whole script that we had in the past. It's also easier. So also includes the get accessible dashboards call. So that's also included with the web component. Manageable integrations. You now have in your own Kummel.io environment an overview of your own dashboards, of the integrations. What's an integration? It's a collection of different dashboards and datasets. What does it include as well? All the rights, the parameters, the filters, all of them are combined in one integration, and we use it an integration ID. You can only use integration IDs when you have an SSO authorization request. That's important as well. Those two combined are the last thing. Let's combine web component, let's combine manageable integrations. And the only thing we need to talk about is setting up dynamical dashboards via the get accessible dashboards call. As we showed, you can use a get accessible dashboards call to retrieve information, properties like dashboard name, slug, and all of that. And it can change around. You are able to change stuff, to set up different dashboards, to adjust it, and all of that. The only thing I need to just show you guys is, if you have any more questions, there's an amazing course created in our academy over here called Integrate Dashboards in Your Own Application using SSO, and step by step explaining you how you can create it. It's really neat. I'm really fond of it. So, okay, that's it. If you have any questions, you know where to find us at support@cumul.io. We're happy to help you guys out, and good luck with the setting up of dynamical integrations. Have a nice day. Bye.